Welcome to GeoLingo.Breakpoint. In a world demanding urgent action and rapid innovation, why does America, the nation that built the modern world, seem trapped in a web of its own making? We live in an era where technological sovereignty and economic agility are not just competitive advantages. They are fundamental requirements for survival in the global arena. However, critical and transformative initiatives are, paradoxically, hampered by internal forces. This isn't due to a lack of vision or scarcity of resources. It's a paralyzing bureaucracy that, in practice, operates beyond direct democratic control, slowing the very pulse of progress. What is paralyzing bureaucracy and how does it manifest? In this explosive episode, we're going to pull back the curtain and expose the institutions that actively impede progress. We'll reveal how their entrenched procedures, independent structures, and overreaching powers create unsustainable bottlenecks. This costs America precious time and erodes its global leadership position. We're not just talking about inefficiency. We're talking about a systemic paralysis that threatens the nation's ability to respond to the most pressing challenges of the 21st century. How does Congress become a bottleneck? The legislative branch, designed to represent the will of the people and forge the country's future, can become a monumental obstacle to expedited action. The United States Congress, with its archaic rules and prolonged procedures, often descends into deep, partisan political confrontations. Internal disputes and obstructionist tactics, which seek to discredit every executive initiative, consume invaluable time. Instead of advancing with the speed the world demands, vital legislation stagnates, and the approval of crucial laws can take years, even decades. This legislative stalemate starkly contrasts with the agility of geopolitical competitors who don't face the same democratic hurdles, allowing them to execute their strategic plans with astonishing speed. How can the judicial branch paralyze executive action? Even the judicial branch, a fundamental arm of government, can, in certain circumstances, become a bureaucratic impediment to expedited action. District courts, sometimes influenced by partisan leanings or restrictive legal interpretations, have the ability to momentarily paralyze executive actions. They can issue mandates or impose injunctions that halt an organically structured plan to change American society or address deep-seated issues requiring rapid intervention. Despite the Supreme Court ruling on several occasions that district courts should not unduly interfere with executive decisions, their obstructive actions remain active, adding another layer of delay and uncertainty to the government's efforts to implement necessary and urgent policies. What is the impact of an autonomous Federal Reserve on the U.S. economy? The Federal Reserve, the Fed, is an autonomous and independent body from the federal government. This independence, though designed to protect it from short-term political influence, grants it immense power over the American economy. A power that, in practice, can transform into a significant obstacle to the country's economic takeoff. When the Federal Reserve decides to keep interest rates high in the local financial market, the implications are deep and negative. High rates make credit more expensive for businesses and consumers, slowing investment, consumption, and ultimately economic growth. Companies postpone expansions, hiring slows down, and purchasing power decreases. But the most critical and often underestimated impact of high rates is the substantial increase in the value of interest on debt. This affects both the domestic debt and the external debt of the United States. Even a small increase in interest rates translates into billions of additional dollars that the government must pay annually just in interest on its vast national debt. This capital, which could be invested in infrastructure, education, research and development, or social welfare initiatives, is diverted simply to cover the cost of borrowing. This not only generates significant capital losses, but also exacerbates the tax burden on citizens and limits the government's ability to invest in the country's future. How is bureaucracy slowing the progress of nuclear energy in America? Finally, let's return to the case of small modular reactors, or SMRs, a clean, powerful, and essential technology for the future of U.S. energy. Despite the Department of Energy's DOE actively promoting their development, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the NRC, stands as the main obstacle. The NRC, with its outdated mindset rooted in Cold War-era assumptions, treats every new project as if it were starting from scratch, even when dealing with proven and safe technologies. The BWRX 300 reactor, for example, a cutting-edge and safety-proven technology, has been stalled for years. It's subjected to an approval process that can take up to 4 years of unnecessary procedures and tests. This bureaucratic inertia means that a president fully committed to the country's energy independence simply cannot circumvent the NRC's veto power, leaving critical projects in indefinite limbo. Is America losing the global race due to its own rules? While the United States gets entangled in this regulatory and procedural labyrinth, competitors like China and Russia are advancing at an unprecedented pace. China, in fact, already has operational SMRs and is positioning itself to export this technology globally. Their systems, although different in nature, do not face the same hurdles that paralyze America. The irony is painful. The United States invented nuclear energy, leads in artificial intelligence, built the modern world. But now, it finds itself unable to deploy vital technologies due to its own bureaucratic maze. The resounding question is crucial. Is America losing its technological sovereignty and strategic advantage on the world stage simply due to the slowness and self-sabotage of its own system? The current administration, aware of this paralysis, is introducing executive measures to try and circumvent these bureaucratic obstacles. However, the battle isn't just against external adversaries. It's against a deeply entrenched system that has, apparently, lost its sense of urgency and national mission. The challenge is immense. Dismantling this network of agencies and procedures that operate with such independence, escaping democratic control, will be as complex as any large-scale engineering project. But if America wants to regain its energy and technological sovereignty in a world that won't wait, this is the only path. It's time to confront bureaucracy with courage, clear vision, and deep reform. And so, we conclude another chapter of GeoLingo.TippingPoint. Let's reflect for a moment. To what extent will we allow our own internal structures to become the greatest impediment to our future? The key to moving forward might not be in new technologies or vast investments, but in the courage to reform what binds us. If this analysis has been revealing and thought-provoking for you, give us a like. Your support helps us continue to investigate and expose the tipping points that shape our world. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes. And of course, hit the bell icon to receive notifications every time we publish new content. Thank you for joining us on this journey of knowledge and critical analysis. We'll see you at the next Breakpoint episode.